Okay, so now I'm on Tilley, so we're going to practice a couple things. So she's also a little barn sour because I kept her here forever working on her canter. She doesn't like to go out alone because she was always ridden with other horses, but we've been doing that for a while. And I worked on her canter forever in the arena, and now I'm working on it out on the trail. So this might help a bunch of you with different things. So Tilley can be a little spooky, and she sees different. She has you can tell she has a visual problem. I've had her eyes checked. They didn't say what kind of glasses she needs, but she definitely needs glasses. And she looks at stuff that we've seen before. See how she's running over here? Because she doesn't want to go by the stuff on the left. So some of these horses or mares, wherever they are that are a little scared, you got to carry a stick. Well, you don't have to. It's just helpful if you do. And it's helpful if you wear a little pair of spurs so you don't have to kick the horse, because you're going to have to push them at some point. You can, be nice to them, you help them. I did all that in the beginning, and then it comes to a point like you just got to do the job. And Tilley can do it. She just doesn't think she can. So you have to be a good leader on their back to help them to get through these things. Some horses, oh, there's my stick. We'll get that on the way back. Some horses, once you take them out here, they're fine, and they're brave horses, they're lead horses, and other horses like her are followers, and they'd always rather follow. But these horses are good in groups. They don't get upset, and they don't throw fits if they're in the back. So there's good thing about followers, and then the bad thing, though, is that you have to usually push them to go out alone, and you have to be brave enough to get them through things. So she does fine. I've mostly ridden her alone because I'm training horses, so I can't always ride with people, and she's the last on my list, so it's always just me and her, which is good because we can work on things. But again, that's difficult for her. I already know that. So see how she just looked off? There's somebody in the flowers in a blue shirt. She can't see him. She sees motion, but they have a hood on. I don't know if you can see it, so she can't make it out that well. So with Tilley, a lot of times I will let her sit here and look because I know her vision's not so good, and she just sighed, so that's a sign that you can walk on. So when they sigh, put their head down, they've either figured it out or they're okay with it. Now she's still tense, and if that guy jumped out and screamed, well, it'd probably be in the next county, so you want to be ready for that. Good girl. Okay, so she would not be a good horse for somebody who was timid, somebody who was a nervous rider. She would just feed off of them, and they would feed off of her, and it would be a disaster. So she needs somebody who's brave and, relaxed, and when she has these little incidents and fits, don't let her get away with it, but don't get upset by it either. Okay? Good girl. Got this. She's been afraid of most things. Cows, goats, the scarecrow thing that's coming up. The first time I took her up to this, I think she ran like 100 feet backwards. I don't know if that's on video or not somewhere. You got this. And we were just up here yesterday, but see how she's acting? So some horses are just like this. Okay. So I taught her the cue for the canter in the arena, and what I do is I turn her slightly sideways, I give a half halt, I shift my weight to the outside, and then I ask for the lead. So say when I go up here, I'm going to ask her, which lead do we want, Tilley? I'm going to ask her for a right lead. So I'm going to turn her left, shift my weight left, and dig with my left leg. And I only want to step her too, so I'm going sideways. She's like, already? Good girl. So see how she just jumped up? That's all I wanted, because the footing's here not so great. And then we're going to try it again. I got to get down this and up the other side. So I'm going to turn a little sideways to the left. Canter. Now she didn't get it, so I stopped her. Good girl. Canter. Now we're going to try it again. Canter. Good girl. Canter. Good girl. Now if she gets in and holds it, that's great, but she's not, so we're just doing one step at a time. Canter. And she's trying to gate in between to get up the hill. Canter. Good girl. This is hard. Good girl. Good girl. Now when I go down the hill and I stop her, what do you think she does? She canters. She canters down the hill. Because that's her getting the cues confused, but that's okay. Because again, they don't speak English. Good girl. So we're going to turn around. Now we're going to see if she'll sit here and have a little cookie. All her friends are down there. She hates being away from her friends. She's the one I set free all the time because she'll never run away. But she's getting better, braver and braver. Now she's just sitting up here, which is great, right? But if something scared her, she'd want to go right down that hill. Good girl. Good job, Tilley. So we're going to do the same kind of thing. We're going to try and walk down the hill slowly and then, come back up. Now she did just start without me. See her snorting? Because what you can't see is there's a little blue person right there with their hood on in the yellow flowers. Now her heart's racing. It's a blue alien, so she wants to go down the hill, so let's go down the hill. Okay, now she's got a big back end. She's doing a little bit of step pacing. Huh, isn't that funny? Oh, you walking horses. And she gates lovely, but otherwise she paces. See her having fits? No, it's no big deal. I try to let her look because as we change our view and get closer or farther away, some horses will see better. So she wants to look, so I try to give her the option to look. We're not going to stay here all day, but we'll let her look a little bit. And then we got to move on. But you hear her? She's snorting. She's trying to smell. What a blue alien smell like, Tilley? She's trying to smell what it is. But a lot of things scare her. When she's with friends, most things do not scare her at all. But when she's with me, she's like, you're not a horse. You're brave, but you're not a horse. And so, she's 15 and she was never really ridden by herself. So all this is new for her this year. And I knew going into that when I bought her that she had some issues I was going to have to work through. But what do trainers like? Difficult horses, don't they? Right? So she's a good horse. In a group, she wouldn't be difficult at all. But I'm making her do things that she's not used to doing. All right, so she's going a little fast, but we keep stopping to look at that blue thing. Now we can't see it. But see how she's looking over there? Now she's unloading. She just went to the bathroom. And that usually tells you your horse is pretty nervous because they're unloading weight. But at least it's manure and not you. But that means they might be getting ready to run. So you take that as a warning and you shorten your reins up and sit back and breathe. Like that. Okay, so we're going to get down here and we're going to turn around until he's not going to like it. But she's pretty sure-footed going downhill. She's not trippy. The anxious ones usually aren't. All right, here we go. We're going to turn. And if something jumped out, again, she would hightail it out of here. Okay, Tilley. So we cantered on now you have to do it. Right lead, so now we're going to do the left lead. So we're turning. Good girl. Come on. Look, she's like, one step, that's it. Now I want to go back home. Canter. Good girl. Now we got to get out of this. Now we're going to try. No, keep going. Good girl. Keep going. Good girl. So she can canter up the hills pretty good. It's just a little fast. It's on the flat that she has the problem. No. See, now watch when we get this. No, that wasn't good. No, not good. Try it again. There we go. Good girl. Alright, so now we're going to turn. If there's a scary object, try and turn towards it. Don't put it behind your horse. Because if you put it behind your horse and they slam something or do something, then the horse will, might take off because it's behind it. Alright, so she did pretty good coming up the hill when I said, oh, she can canter up the steep part, and then she didn't do it very well. Because I think she was too focused on this going on. So we'll see when we do it again what happens. But she's got to stay on the correct lead, and if she loses her lead behind, then I have to restart it. I don't let her canter up the hill on the wrong lead behind, because that's just developing the wrong muscles and telling her she's correct when she's actually wrong. So every time she does it wrong, I just come back to the walk and do it again. You'll see it's steep. It's not the easiest thing to pick up the canter there, but that's how we build up muscles, isn't it? So let's see if she'll eat a cookie. Now, if they're really nervous, it's a good way to tell. They will either spit the cookie out or they won't eat it at all. You want some? So she's like, I still want to focus on that. But see how focused she is on that object? Now, this isn't a horse you want to sit here and do crazy stuff with up here, because you're going to amp her up more, okay? It's better to stay calm. Just teach her to stay calm. Just work through it. See, a branch broke or a monster's coming? And she focused on that. Alright, so now we're going to start walking down the hill again. Good girl. So she stayed up here. She didn't try to run home, which was good. But you'll see she's high-headed, so that means her gaits aren't going to be good going down the hill. It's not, come on, you can do it. It's not going to be a pleasant walk. It's going to be a little choppy, but it's one thing at a time. I can't worry about her gaits. I just got to worry about trying to keep her relaxed. I can slide the bit. I'm talking, but otherwise I would be breathing. And then when it gets choppy like this, we'll stop again. Now she can barely see them. Yeah, I'm sure you can't see them at all. Good girl. It's okay. Look, she's like, let's get out of here. Oh, come on. So we have to push her through some of her fears, but you have to decide when you're taking your horse out alone and you're teaching it stuff. Each horse is different. How far can you push them? You don't want to push them over the edge. They'll never trust you. You scare the hell out of them. So you got to push them a little bit into their fear, and you got to reward them for it. And then each day you push just a little bit more, but you don't make it extreme. And if you just beat them, well, they'll always remember that. They might run by everything, but they'll never be a relaxed horse. And then the next owner has to deal with all the consequences. So she's a little fast. I've just been half halting, half halt, half halt, half halt, half halt, half halt. Yeah, and now we're going to turn around. So we'll, yeah. Okay, now we do it again. Canter. Good girl. Oh, that was a good one, even though she's spooky. Come on. See, she's so focused on that. Canter. Good girl. She likes to drag sometimes, so you can't let her drag. Good girl. Good girl. Good girl. Now we're gonna go. I did that because she was trying to get that canter lead, and then she was falling out of it, and I knew she could hold it if I just kind of went fast. And I don't always do that. It just depends. See, she's still focused on that. Come on, Tilley. Hey, come here. So, you want this or not? She wants it, but she's so focused now she's going to hold it like a lozenge. But you see, this is things, you don't, when you're looking online at horses, you got to look at their faces. Look at their expressions when the people are taking them through things, because it's mostly trainers riding them, and they're good riders. And so you want to see, you can see her in her face, she's scared, right? Good girl. Go back down again. Oh, look, they're leaving. Now, even though they left, she's still going to be scared because that's just who she is. Come on. See how she just wants to watch? But her heart's beating, she's scared. Now you're all alone. Now you take her out on the trail all by herself, but she usually is tense here. It's woody and she can't see stuff in there, and so it makes her more nervous. Now you see, I don't mind her doing this stuff. I'm not getting upset. And I've tried different stuff with Tilley, and I found like just putting her feet to work, making her busy, doesn't work, and sometimes it makes her more antsy. So it's best just to kind of calmly go through it, and that's what works for her. Come on. Good job. Good girl. Oh. So see, she does what I'm asking her even though she's scared. Right? Good girl. But some horses, high-spirited, you know, that's just who they are. That's what their breeding was. So we can't change all of it. We gotta know what we bought. I know what I got. And I like spirited horses. Some of you guys do too, but then we have to deal with this stuff. And a spirited lead horse is usually more difficult in groups versus a follower. Good girl. Now, will she ever get better? Yeah, because we're new at this place. That was like ice skating. There's leader again, so we're turning her to the right, so we got in the left gate. But see, she's like, I know what you want, I'm just going to do it. And she doesn't want to listen and wait. That's part of our problems. Canter. Now she fell apart because I slowed her down. That was kind of half cantering, half gait, but that was okay. Oh, she's going to get better. It takes her a while to get over stuff. You know, she's probably going to have to be here, I would think, a year before she's going to be, you know, okay on this trail and not panicked and worried anymore. And that's okay. Each horse takes a different amount of time. You want to go down the hill? She's like, no, I just want to look. You know, and so when I sell horses, I try to find pretty darn calm horses, you know, that aren't like this, because this is more difficult, and a lot of people can't handle it. So I don't mind getting her used to things, working through things, because it challenges me and it makes me a better trainer. But again, it takes time and patience. You know, if you just train all calm horses, yeah, all the videos are going to look spectacular all the time, right? It's going to look like they're a great trainer, but it's because they got all calm horses. You get ones that are high-spirited and have issues, and it takes some time to get them through these things, right? So she, you know, if somebody sent her in for training for a month, would that be enough? No. I wouldn't even get to the root of it. It takes a long time. Good girl. But you see, she couldn't pick up her lead at all out here before, especially on the flat. She didn't know what to do. She would just charge, and that means she would run at her gait as fast as she could, and then she would try to leap into the canter, and her legs were all mangled, and it was crazy. And once in a while she'd get the correct lead and it would feel okay. So I spent all that time in the arena, so when I come out here and turn her a certain way, she knows which lead I'm going to ask her for, and then she tries. So she is full of talent. She has a good work ethic. She tries to do the right thing. It's just this anxiety thing gets her going. And me, I'm thinking, you know, that she can't see that far away. That's what I would think. But I don't think she can see close up that great either. So I think her vision's kind of probably in between, just from how I see her react to things. She's unloading again. Yep, it's okay. Let's go down the hill then. Now this is slower, so that's pretty good for her. Good girl. Good job. Come on, Tilley. When I was younger, in my 20s, and I was riding hunter jumpers, they put me on all the crazy horses, and I hated them. I really did. I wanted to ride all the duds. I was like, can't I just ride the kick-to-go ones, you know, that you gotta push? And the horses bolted with me. They did all sorts of crazy stuff, and I became really good at them. So that's why none of this stuff affects me anymore. She gets upset, I'm like, oh, it's okay. I'm fine. We'll get through it. But so some of the times you get these horses, they come into your life, and I'm like, why did I get all those crazy horses? Because now I can, you know, help them, but it takes time. And some of these high-spirited, or, you know, what people think are crazy, they're not crazy. Tilley's not. She's just high-spirited. But some of them are the best horses. They're the ones with the most talent. It's, can you get it out of them? And can you manage them? Okay. Guess what? We're going to turn around. Oh, she's like, damn it. Alright, we're going to go for your right lead. So we're going to turn her left. Good girl. Now she tried to pick up her left lead in the beginning. No. That's what she's trying to do right now. She's trying to canter, but she's trying to pick up her left lead. I want her right lead. Good girl. And the reason I turn her is to get the hindquarter in the correct direction. If you watch her videos in the arena, you'll see what they're talking about, because the lead comes from their hindquarter. So I want that lead facing up the hill. Good girl. Good girl. Good job. Good girl. She's trying really hard. I'm not even asking, she's just doing it. Oh. Come on, you got a couple more left. There you go. Good girl. Come on, one more. Hannah. Now I asked for it, so I have to go girl. I just want her to get a little bit, okay? Good job. Alright, so now we're going to turn around. Okay, so she did a good job. That was really hard, because it's like walking and canter step, walk, canter step. And so that's going to be it. We're going to go back down. Good girl. You're doing better. Yeah. When I brought her up here in the beginning, when we first moved here, I had a hand walker. That's what I do with the new horses. A hand walker. She would just stand here shaking. So, you know, this is a big improvement. You might think, what the hell? No, this is a big improvement. She would just stand out here scared when I showed her that view below. Okay? But there's so many different colors and things, you know, it's all green and it's all like blurry to her. So she can't make out this stuff. And so when people are in there, she's, you know, with her temperament, she's just like, what the heck? You don't have to go backwards up the hill. Now she's pawing the air. That's her telling me that she's frustrated. She don't want to stay up here anymore. And that's okay. Because she's not trying to run down the hill. She's just doing it in a different way. And they can have opinions. It's okay. So when they tell me, I go, okay, go down. Girl. So she's kind of waddling down the hill because she's pacing. So it feels like you're waddling back and forth like a duck. I just keep turning her and calf halting. Good girl. But again, the gait won't get better until she gets relaxed. So that's not going to happen today. Even though she gaits really well down there, and on the way out she did too, right? okay. But if I let her, she would just stare at stuff all day. That's why I'll let her look some, and then we have to go, Tilley. Because she would stand there all day staring at this stuff, psyching herself out. So somebody's got to push her a little bit and like, come on, we just got to do it. Can't stand here all day thinking about it. And that's the same with people too, right? Remember when you're learning to dive into the water, you sit there and you stare at it and you're scared and you think you're going to flop, you know? So you sit there forever and then somebody just comes by and while you're getting ready to dive in, they just push you in. Sometimes you just got to do it. And then you're like, oh, that wasn't so bad, and then you just do it again. And you get better. Okay, even if I let go of the reins, she gets a little fast, but she wouldn't run away. So now I'm sliding the bit because she's got her head up, so that means I'm squeezing with one hand and then the other. Now you'll see she's going to be all antsy, and then when we get down by these other horses, she usually settles down. So remember, if they run down to the barn, you get there faster. And you can tie them up faster. So some of them learn, and then once they get closer to the barn, they start getting slower and slower. And I go, no, that's not how it works. Okay. You can see them, right? Okay. You see she ran down the hill, and now that there's horses here, now she wants to visit. Good girl. So if I was going to do some more barn sour, and I'll do it in time, I just work on that bottom part, because the top part was pretty good and here is pretty good. It was that middle part that she got antsy, so I could go up and down that area too. They're not coming over. No, they saw what you were doing up there. They think, why was she acting up? See how quiet she is? Yeah, now you don't want to go home because you know what's coming next. Good girl. They left. You want to go up there? See, she's looking for them even though they're not there anymore. See, it was just a blue head out there. She didn't know what it was. You made it. Yeah, you made it. It's okay. See, that's why I can tell she has visual problems. Because she, I can definitely see that's a horse, and she keeps trying to look at it, and now that it's behind a bush, she's not sure if it turned into a monster. So I just gotta push her and help her. Come on. I'll give her a little job, but it doesn't seem to make a difference with Tilley. That's why you want to have all these tools in your box. So if one thing doesn't work, you can try something else. He's in the bushes. She's getting scared like that's the death horse. He's going to kill us. There you go. It's okay. Yeah, you got this. You're all right. Oh, I got to get off and get my stick. So I got off and now I'm walking so I can bring my other stick. Horses like this, you want to make sure they walk well behind you so they don't jump over the top of you. And you gotta make sure they're paying attention. Because they'll get so scared they'll run over you. So make yourself big enough, where you can whip your sticks around like this. You just whip them. That way if they come into your space, they smack themselves, so you didn't smack them. Because I know a lot of people are afraid to get after them. So what am I going to do now with Tilley? I used to come back and canter her around here. And I'd go a couple of times around, but I'm tired today, so we're not doing that today. And look at her. Oh, now you look like an old plug. Yeah. So today I'm just going to tie her up. So when I come back, I don't feed them. I'm going to feed her hay when we're all done because it's dinner time. But I don't graze them. She's not getting any cookies. She's not getting any grain. I usually give that in the morning. And so she'll just get her hay. But I'm going to tie her up, and then we're going to leave her for a while. But she's pretty good at this now. And she's one of the ones who used to paw really bad, and I hobbled her. And now she really doesn't paw. If she does, she will do it once, and I'll yell at her, and she stops. So you can yell at them, act like they're just dogs. Just tell them no, but say it, in a tough, mean voice, like no. And then that's it. And that's pretty good for a horse that was pawing all the time, non-stop. Good girl. That was fun, huh? So, I thought it was fun. You guys might not have thought that was fun. And that's the bit I have in her mouth, is a wonder bit. She pulled down when I got her. And I put her in a miler bit first, which is one of these things. And that's in my bit videos, which I can send you guys the link, but it's on YouTube. You just type in DeRusso horse bits, and it should come up. But she put her head down too much, and she would yank on it, and the bridle. So I went to the wonder bit because it helps to elevate their head. And then she still gaited well in it. There's different kinds of wonder bits. This one has a lozenger in it. And then there's ones like this. You just see what one your horse likes best. If it has a very sensitive mouth, then the one with the lozenger is better. But I needed control with her, and so I went with the more snaffle one, because it's got a little bit more tongue pressure than that other one does, and that has worked well for her. So a horse that really yanks its head down, you want a bridle that helps lift it up, not one that helps pull it down. And so that's why the wonder bits are helpful for that. All right, I'm gonna tie her up. Hope that helps somebody. So I want you to see Tilley here. Everybody's eating. They're all eating their food. And she's just standing here, not pawing, being very good. Okay, took a while to get her here. I had to be pretty tough with her, and she had some meltdowns. And now she's very good. And she has white stuff on her face because I wormed her. She came back, I wormed her, and she got tied up, so it was great. But again, I want you to see it can be done, but you have to have different tools in your box. You have to be willing to go through some temper tantrums to get to the other side, and you have to be able to do it safely.